the trigger from the gun. Ha! 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 We're all just going round the sun. Trying to keep the trigger from the gun. Ha! 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 Ha!
Welcome to LaKwaxiru. Thanks for being here. This is Paddy. This is Olivia. You all know I'm Eutimia, and we are Baubo. Do a couple more songs, then we're going to talk about things. Yeah.
Ready, Par?
I'm ready. Take this scarf off. It's kind of high here.
Was alive till I started breathing. Misty mountains fade into the moonlight. Pay close attention, not all is as it seems. Flash and burn and fade away gracefully.
different being in the studio. Yay! Check us out if you like what you're seeing or not. Baubo Musica on Instagram.
Oh, we do the
Follow our Baubo pose.
we do that. It's so good. I love it so much when we do that.
I love this
I love
drum
you so
though,
much.
and this drum makes me very happy too. I don't know. What should we do?
I think you could do
I'm gonna
both.
do this.
You're
I
a
don't know.
rock
I'll try to do both.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? I hope I don't bang you in the head. 5, 6, 7, 8. By the grace of everything that's holy, I'm alive. Mother, Father, what could you be? So much to prove. In the grace of all who came before me, blessed be this legacy. Mother, Father, what could you have given me? When will I see myself as my own? Who and the prophets say every day is an extraordinary day on this sacred journey, and every love lost is one step closer to the real thing. Every failing is a blessing. May I walk in grace. By the grace of all we have within us, we create what we will see. Mother, Father, what could you be? So much to lose. Who may in Alrighty, Baubo.
Whoa!
Now we're gonna switch things up. Have a little dead time or not. Where did I put the guitarra? On top of the cajon?
You just said it. Leave it on the ground.
Thank you. This is on? Yep. Okay. Whew. Oh, should I put these on? This is kind of crazy. This is like studio life. Studio life.
Studio life.
Studio life. Thank you to our beautiful gentlemen, Mr. Ryan Fu and Mr. Steven Sampson. And thank you to my beautiful friends, Olivia Blue and Paddy Skostasp. Oh, I'm a little, it's been a crazy ass day, y'all. Like, whoa. You might have seen my little live video or my YouTube video earlier. It is in the Mayan calendar a one road day. Some of you might know what that means, but basically it's like the beginning of knowing your path and working your path, especially in a spiritual sense. And this weekend I was in a class, a course called Advanced Traina, which is Chinese push and pull therapeutic massage. So was with one of my teachers, and pretty much you can like heal everything by working the spine and work it all out. And I worked with this lovely young woman who was my mirror in so many ways. And I had a really intense emotional release about 2 hours ago, right before I got here. And one of the things she told me, because it was just like a lot of trauma came up. And I know there are people who've gone through worse trauma than I have, but like, fuck. Excuse my French, except it's not French. Don't forget it. Anyways, I'm so grateful. She told me, yes, all the hard times, yes. And I know it's hard and I know it sucks and I don't want to not honor the fact that shit sucks sometimes, and always remember what you have to be grateful for. So I cried a lot. I actually had to stop. I was with Paddy. She came to the workshop with me because she's a burgeoning hands-on healer herself and an amazing yoga teacher. We'll talk about that. And I like literally started crying on the way driving, and I had to like pull over and put on the fucking hazards. I keep cursing. I come from the hood. I don't care. And get out of the car. What's a curse? So, and she took over driving. Anyways, then we ate some food and now we're here. And I just did one of the things I love doing the most, which is playing music with these two beautiful women. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves before I start crying again. Who's first? Who's first?
I'll go.
Hey y'all. My name is Paddy, and yeah, I make music with these two lovely women. I like to do a lot of things. Let's see. Teach yoga at the moment, and recently moved to Denver from Buffalo, New York. Oh, there's the camera. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just beyond blessed to be in the space that I am, to be surrounded by such inspirations in so many ways. And lately it's been not so many words, just feeling it all and being grateful and being present in all of this and accepting everything as it comes. And that attitude of gratitude really makes a difference. And I'm just so happy to be walking this path with my beautiful sisters. They become my family in Denver, and I'm really happy.
I hope they can all feel what's happening right now. Can you guys feel it?
You're like,
This is usual.
okay.
Olivia's turn.
I'm Olivia.
Hey.
I grew up in Denver. What do I say about myself? I learn a lot from plants. I learn a lot from people. I learn a lot from music, and right now that's kind of the core of my path is music and making up songs and singing with you. And it's something that's happened really randomly. It's not, or I don't know like what's random, but it was never something when I was a kid of like, oh, this is what I want to do. It just like has happened, and it's like the only thing that makes sense at this point. It's like the only thing where I feel like I can be honest the whole time.
Yeah.
It's been very easy too, very effortless. Like we've been speaking about this word Kriya, just like effortless flow.
We talked about that last week on the show with Natalie Montecalvo. If you guys didn't check that out, last week we had a 68-year-old diva beauty, wondrous inspiration of a human being, and we talked about Kriya. But continue, Ms. Pardis.
Just how wonderfully simple it's been. Found each other and just decided to, what was it? Someone asked for some musicians for a show like about a year ago.
Is actually July, so a little more than a year.
A little more than a
It's
year.
a little more than I've been counting. Olivia was saying earlier how people really just put all this emphasis on romantic love, and you like say, oh well, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend, or like how long have you guys been together, but you never say like how long have you and your friend been together. Right? So we've been together
like, wow,
over a
you
year.
must have gone through a lot of stuff together in that time.
Well, not bad stuff.
Well, I mean, just in general, like if you ask somebody how long they've been in a partnership, like a kissing, sexing partnership, then usually you're like, wow, 4 years, you guys are really powerful love people or whatever people.
You're such powerful love people.
But then people don't tend to put that same importance to our other relationships that we curate in love, right?
And actually, part of the reason I invited you both here today, one, because I can count on you. And I'm like, but last week I was talking about, you guys, and Par was watching, and she said that she started blushing when I was talking about you guys. So I was just like, basically, that exact thing is that we put so much on romantic love and relationships because that's how we've been conditioned. But we don't give space for the love that we need outside of that. And that's also, I think, why there's such a high rate of breakups and divorces and everything, is you expect someone to be your everything when they clearly can't be, and that's just completely pathological, really. Be like, well, if you don't love me, I'm gonna die if we're not together. And it's like, well, no, let's take a step back and take heed of everything that we have here. So specifically, I was talking about what a beautiful day we had, and we took a nap.
Oh, yeah.
We play footsies too. We cuddle. We touch each other. I'm like, come here. And that's such a beautiful thing when you can like touch. Touch medicine is really, really powerful. People like, clearly, I just got touched all up and down today, and I was like, I can't believe that happened. Let me release. Being human. Yeah. So, tell me a story. Somebody, I'm a little out of it right now.
Oh, well, speaking of love in other ways than just romantic relationships, last night was really special. This was the little thing we were gonna... I was over at Mercury Cafe having some tea with a friend, and one of our mutual friends who I think you guys are, closer or have spent more time with her than I have, but Mona.
If you guys don't know Mona,
human
you need to know
in
Mona.
the community.
Yeah.
Beautiful musician.
Free music for free people.
Free music for free people. Check her out. She's so full of soul. She gets like really close. She's like, and I'm like, ugh. Anyways, Mona, we love you.
Mona, we love you. She was playing a show at Mercury Cafe, and after one of her songs, I was just melting in the back, like, oh.
We melt over each other. ET does.
We melt a lot.
Lots of melting.
She stops after a song and is just thanking everybody, thanking Mercury Cafe, thanking people, and she looks over at me and she's like, thank you so much for being here. She's like, because every time I see you, I'm reminded of Olivia. Oh. And I love her so much, and it brings me so much joy.
Oh. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Mona, like sitting here.
Tell us.
Because the first time I ever played, or maybe the second time I ever played an open mic. Oh, here's a love story. The first time I ever played at an open mic, it was at the Mercury Cafe, so it was the first time that I kind of felt that feedback of
That's
people.
where I fell in love with you.
Oh, oh yeah, a lot of things happened in that room.
Yeah.
And so it was that first time I felt that feedback, and it was the the next day, I remember that night I couldn't sleep because I was like, oh my God, I was like, the most amazing thing ever. Like if the first night after you've been with somebody, some love person or whatever, up night talking or whatever you do together, loving each other. And I was just going over every single moment in this like, wow, that was the most amazing thing. And I had this like bright light on my face, like the whole, for like, you know, week afterwards, that kind of thing of like, whoa, what is this? Like I've never felt this way before.
Like when you fell in love with performing?
Mm-hmm. Like being, like playing to people. Mm-hmm. But it was either that first or second time that Mona was there and she was there and I got to see her perform too, and she came up after and we talked to each other and connected and she invited me to play at something. But that was so instrumental in just realizing like how supportive the music community is in Denver too, and like it really is full of love between everybody, and this really supportive, not competitive way. Like I love what you do. Like I want to see you do what you do, kind of feeling. Like because you make my heart open so much when I watch you play. So I love Mona so much too. I really do.
And that's why when she told me that, I'm like, I melted a little bit because one of the things that is something, God, I'm going to cry. Cry. I'm always that girl. One of the things that has been kind of a theme in my life, or just growing up in a marginalized community, and there's like, you know, a lot of old trauma, a lot of really old trauma from colonization, from slavery, from all of the things. And because of that, there's a lot of like, gimme, this is mine. There's not a lot of like openness because you've been hurt so many times, right? So I was raised when I was in 4th grade, it was like the worst year of my life. And all of the girls were so mean to me. They were just mean all the time. And I remember there was this other girl who was kind of the underdog, if you will. And they would just like really hound on her. And I would stick up for her. And then they would hound on me. It was ugly. It was ugly all the time. And so it wasn't until college, I think, when I was in a cappella that I really... when I met just people, especially women, I wouldn't be like on guard. And then even in high school, I had like one best friend, and we would like go everywhere together, and in an almost an unhealthy way, because like we were like protecting ourselves and each other because of this like mean girl culture. And then when we went to college, there wasn't anybody who would be like your everything like that, much in the way I think a partnership works. But anyways, in college, when I was in a cappella and I started, and go figure, I was singing all the time. So my heart started opening up. But when I heard the story about Mona, I was just like, oh, wow. And it filled me so much because like the way the love can travel, and just like what you're saying, that like mutually supportive community. Like I've heard one of my loves says, comparison is the thief of joy. And so like when you compare all the time, you're like taking away like what's good. So if you're like, oh, I'm not like this person, I'm like them, you know, then you're not really just honoring. And what I've seen with us, with Baubo, like I come with my musical background, you come with yours, you come with yours. And when we play together, pretty much we had a band right away because we all had our own stuff. And then we just like backed each other up on our own stuff. And that's what you guys kind of saw just now. But it can be synergistic, cohesive, harmonizing, as opposed to competitive and dehumanizing. Yeah.
I shared this thing on Facebook the other day and nobody liked it. I don't know how Facebook works.
Did you make sure it was visible to people?
I'm sure. Isn't it the same every time?
No.
You have to always edit that to public.
Was it political?
No, it wasn't. It was like a cute little thing.
Yeah, there are things words you can say, and they will not show it to anyone.
Oh, really?
Like what?
Oh, it maybe was
what word?
from
I
a
used to
website.
post a lot of political stuff, and then when the election started, I started getting 0 likes all the time out of nowhere. And
I love how he just came in on that. Thanks,
Sorry,
Sarah.
I think it's really important that people understand that Facebook is not just
right, that it's
posting
not
stuff
like
normal.
free speech zone like
It's
people
judging
might
your
maybe
post
think it
and
is.
promoting it.
Right.
So yeah.
Thank you. Facebook is fake book. But, you know, gets
Face hole.
face hole. The Black Mirror.
Face hole. Yeah, it's a really strange thing.
Okay, what did you post?
Well, it was
cute?
like this cute little drawing of a flamingo and a what was the other bird? What are the big tail ones? I'm blanking. A peacock. And it said, question, or it was like, admire others' beauty without questioning your own.
Yeah.
And I feel like playing with both of you is such a test of that for me, because I'm like, all the time, like,
That's how we are.
gosh.
We stand up on you so hard. Me and Pardis are just like, Olivia's just so cool. And Ryan too. We'll like hang out together and we're just like.
But it's true, we're taught to look at people and then think, oh, well, I don't look that way, like, I'm different, like, I look this way, I have this, my fingers are so long, or whatever, like, the stupid thing is that people do to themselves, like, are fat, skinny, all of these words. But it's really cool to be able to look at both of you and be like, oh, oh, and then not be like, not have to feel like I have to go inside and feel weird about myself.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's just the beautiful thing about getting to know someone, right? Mm-hmm. Like just loving. Someone in my past, a very close, dear person, told me once, your enemies are people whose stories you don't know. And so, like, that's why I like to get to know people. Or if you get jealous, like, my first inclination, if I feel some kind of, like, how you said, that weird way, like, they're so cool, I'm like, hi, can we be friends? Can you get any hi? You know, and then, like, you learn about them. Same thing, like, if you're super duper attracted to someone, before, like, doing anything crazy, just, like, start to talk to them, get to know them, because the opposite might be true, too. Like, you might really, really like them, or you might, like, discover things about them as a person that make you go, oh, maybe I shouldn't go there, or, oh, my God, you're, like, the one, or, I don't believe in the one, honestly. I believe in, right here,
We
right
all
now.
are one.
We are one. We are one. Sweet Honey in the Rock. We are one. We are one.
Hey, this is kind of fun to sing into these because of the headphones.
We should try
more
Tree
advantage
Song
of
here.
this.
I know.
Yeah, you want to
Go
start?
for it.
Ooh.
Don't try to cut me into lumber, no, no, no. I wanna be a shady tree. Don't cut down my branches. Don't cut down these boughs of plenty. Maybe I'll be perfect on a sunshiny day. Darling, I'll swing in the breeze. My leaves will sway. Maybe I'll cast a shadow on your pretty, pretty face, so the sun won't hurt your eyes. Please don't try to cut me into lumber, no, no, no. I wanna be your shady tree. Don't cut down my branches. Don't cut down my boughs of plenty. Maybe I'll bear fruit for you. I could bear your fruit. Keep it cool for you. I wanna keep you cool. I will shelter you from a rain and thunderstorm. Unless you wanna get wet, well then I'll watch your joy. Don't try to cut me into lumber, no, no, no. I wanna be your shady tree. Don't cut down my branches. Don't cut down my boughs of plenty. I wanna be your is free. Sitting in the studio playing with my girl. Say yo yo, how lucky I am, how grateful. I love you so much.
It's the most obvious word that I could say. It's kind of funny in this room to play.
Hey, hey, hey. It's a shiny October day in Denver, Colorado, and we gon' sing about love, love, love. LaKwaxiru. Love, love, love. LaKwaxiru. Love, love, love.
Baubo. Hey. Oh, wow. Okay, now we're going to take the Turiya. So, there's this beautiful concept in yoga after oming. There's the silence. Turiya. And that's when everything integrates.
Don't forget what just happened, you guys, because we can do that again exactly.
We can do that again exactly. Like, we can never do anything again. We come up with the coolest stuff. They're like, do you guys remember that? We're like, no. It was just was supposed to exist at one time.
Boom.
At one time.
Boom, 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 boom.
There's only one moment. There's only one moment. Oh my god. What time is it? I can't anymore.
Boom, boom.
So, guys, this is what I'm normally like.
Boom.
Hey, hey, hey.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
So,
What time is it? Should I?
girls, yeah. Should you start doing? It's been a long day. It's Sunday. It's a road day. Road meaning like
It's Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
And we're about to have a big weather change.
We're about to have a baby. I'm like, oh, clearly I know where my mind's at.
Baubo's going on tour in November.
Thank you for the segue. Continue.
Let's see. Oh, Arcosanti, which is a sustainable, intentional community in Arizona, little north of Phoenix, and they're having a Convergence Festival, and we're playing there, and we're really excited. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go and make a whole trip out of it. We did this last year in October.
That was our first tour.
Yeah.
This is number 2. It's exciting, and it's about a year apart. Just completely, it's like just happens, which is wonderful. What Par was saying earlier about Kriya, and what we talked about last week too, is just that the magic of being in your alignment and in your flow, and how things just happen for you. So when you're following your path, whatever that means, and I think what that means is like following what feels most right, following your highest excitement. If you're in a situation, at a job, in a relationship, with friends and a group of people that consistently feel like it's hard or it's pulling or it's like not in alignment with what your soul truth is, what your heart joy is, then it's out of alignment with your higher path. So when we came together, it was during one of these times where I think I had just let go of something, and my little cousin was working at a coffee shop, and she hit me up, and she's like, it was their grand opening, and she's like, hey, do you have any friends who can come play? And I'm like, I can come play with my friends. And I knew Olivia through a mutual friend, but I had just like seen her play because we got called. I was called to like do some spoken word about birth, which I'm really into doing, and she was singing, playing. And I went and I watched her feature and I died inside, the parts of me that were dying already, and something else blossomed when I looked at her and listened to her words. And during that time as well, this lovely Paddy moved in across the street, and it was so funny because I was on the porch with some other friends from Los Mocochetes, who some of you Denver people might know, and we were like having a jam session. And she just comes walking across the street all confident. I'm like this like beautiful goddess, all like, hey. She starts busting a flow. I'm like, what?
Oh.
It was she's like, I
didn't
can
know
picture
that.
it.
I didn't know that happened, but I
she
can
just
imagine.
like walked across the street and I saw those like
Y'all
big,
jamming?
deep eyes, and she was like, yo, and she just started getting it, and I was like, okay, hey. And then so cousin called and was like, yo, can you come play? And I was like, yeah. And I hit up these two, and that was our first show at Prodigy Coffee House in Denver, which is a nonprofit venture to get kids age 16 to 24 learning how to run the business of a coffee shop. So that's really cool. That's how we came to be, and ever since then it's just been like this effortless flow.
Yeah.
And Olivia is already a pretty prominent, well, in my opinion, singer-songwriter in the Denver community. So she has like connections, and then I do my thing. And
It's been so nice too, though, just like the venues and the events and like just the spaces that we get to play in.
Mm-hmm.
And people come to us and ask us like, yo, come please, and we're like, yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
yeah, like we played the NineToFive.org soiree the other night, and that's an organization that helps working mothers get equal, or working women rather, get equal pay, livable wages, etc. I don't know enough about that sector to talk more about that, but just a really beautiful, empowering event for women, and not like at 11 p.m. where there's a bunch of drunk people who aren't listening. Coffee shops. What else?
we played a benefit for Mexico and Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Goose Town Tavern.
Uh-huh.
That was awesome.
And even though it was a bar, we don't really like to play bars. None of us are really big drinkers or partiers, but we'll play it like
cool.
for good benefits, for things with a cause. You know, we really want to offer our medicine. We see our songs as medicine, and we all practice our different medicines. So Olivia, she just blows your mind as a singer-songwriter, and she harvests seeds and makes plants and talks to plants. So she like carries on this horticulture way, carries on the plantita friends to share. And Pardis offers really beautiful yoga classes with meditations and connecting to your higher self. And she also just has really good hands. Like, she's one of the people I like to touch me, and I don't like it. Like, I like touch, but I'm kind of a touch snob because, you know, y'all know. So, and then I do all my medicine work. So we're really interested in sharing that work along with our medicine, because I believe, and people might call me a conspiracy theorist, I don't care, that the colonizing and the industrialization very poignantly and conscientiously disenfranchised us from our music as sacred, and our song as sacred, and our movement as sacred, which is why we haven't done it for a couple months, but beautiful. Shout out to Lady Speech Sankofa. Today is her birthday.
Happy birthday, Speech.
We love you, Speech. She and I have pioneered something called the body altar, and that is bringing back sacred ritual dance. So we do that, and she is a priestess, and she speaks spells, speaks intentions, and we like work it out, and you know, I do my stuff, but really reclaiming our bodies and our voices as sacred, so that we're not just like hanging out in bars, drinking down, and not being conscious about what we're doing with our bodies, what we're doing with our voices, the words we say, the spells we cast with the words we say. So that's definitely where we're at with our music, with our song, and we have a Baubo clinic and a Baubo school. So if you guys want any kind of workshops on indigenous medicine, traditional medicine, natural medicine, from lots of different modalities, breath work, song medicine, vibration, instrumentation, seed planting, harvesting, growing, etc., hit us up and we will come to your school, we'll come to your recreation center, we'll come to your community center, we'll come to your house. House parties, we're super in. So actually, now that you say that, DIY is huge. Like, I'm going to throw this out there, and we don't have that much time, and we want to get our lovely, when my mother's father came back from World War II in New Mexico, he had given all of his land in New Mexico to his brother, because he wasn't sure if he was going to come back, right? So when he came back, he wanted to buy more land. And so me and my mom recently went to New Mexico and walked this strip of land, and it was literally a strip. It's like a 20-acre strip that's 50 feet wide and like 4 miles long. And we're just like, WTF, like, why would they do that? And it just like hit me, and I'm like, because they don't want us to commune with one another. Like, if imagine you have 20 acres in a big square, you have a village, you have a plaza, you have 3 plazas, right?
Sacred fires.
Sacred fires. But if your strip of land is only 50 feet wide, then all the houses are just next to each other. So look at our streets.
You can't have a circle.
We can't have a circle. We have blocks, and they are not, the houses aren't facing each other. Everything's on the outside. So think about that. Anyways, I know, right? It's like, shit. So we're all really about bringing back community plazas, bringing back places to gather, honoring each other, saying hi to each other on the street is a big one. Yeah. Guys, have anything you'd like to say? Baubo.
Baubo. Baubo. Wait, you're attached to a cord.
Okay, so this is why we don't practice much. People are like, how often do you practice? We're like, when we have a show.
We'll do better.
We'll do better. We just have so much fun together, but that's part of it, right? It's chemistry. We have fun. I think that comes across, hopefully. Yeah, so on that note, talking about lack of community and like how that's come through, we really do want to honor the ways things transform into beauty. For instance, my bloodlines are Indigenous American and Spanish por la conquista. Mostly Spanish. There's some French and German in there too. But like, I wouldn't be alive, I wouldn't be who I am if I weren't a mixed blood, right? And so, like, I could hate the white man or like lament not being a full-blood Indigenous person or my light skin or my light eyes forever, but that's not honoring all of me and all of my beauty, right? Or like, you've never been to Iran, or your homeland.
No, hopefully soon, sometime.
Right? And so you could spend all this time being like, but I've never been to the motherland. But you're like here with us, and it's beautiful. And we're so grateful. So we'd like to end our little set being super duper in love with Ms. Olivia Blue. And do you want to say anything about what you're about to regale us with?
I was in the garden where I put seeds and watch things happen, basically. And I saw somebody on the other side of the garden. It's kind of it's like a longer strip of land, and this person had a spray can of some sort, and I'm like, oh, like nobody likes to see spray cans in the garden. Like, that's usually not good. And I go over and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And he was spraying it was a neighbor that I had never met that was on the other side, like lived on the other side of the fence, but the grapevine that grows out of their yard was going on all the fences. And he was spraying the Japanese beetles, which are, you see them around. They're really, really beautiful. They're
like iridescent.
green, and they have some gold on them, and they're just cool. But people get really upset about them because they eat the leaves and they eat people's gardens and all this. And I've heard, that it's on the news in Denver and stuff. But I saw them doing that, and I was like, really? And I was like, I was nice to him and just asked him a lot of questions and like trying to like see why he felt the need to do that. But it just really kind of, I think a lot about that idea of invasive species or like pests. What's a pest? To humans, maybe, but who eats the Japanese beetle? And I don't know that, but it kind of inspired me to think more about the scapegoats of the problems that arise in this paradigm. So we say, oh, like the Japanese beetle, it's doing the garden, but it's like, well, let's look at, are there a lot of them because of climate change maybe? Or is there, or what's causing this imbalance? So thinking about those, those plants that act as scapegoats, which we oftentimes call invasive species.
Cool.
But you want me to play the song?
Yeah, we want her to play this song because it pretty much makes you melt. We like to melt over Ms. Olivia Blue. Olivia Blue. Gentlemen, are the mics set up correctly? Thank you. So everyone, I think this song for Ms. Olivia, or that Ms. Olivia is about to play for us, is really beautiful example of finding love in the dark places, finding love in the perceived throwaways, the perceived unintentional, the perceived hazardous, including colonization, because that's, I know I'm a daughter of that, and I need to love me. So I'm really grateful for Ms. Olivia Blue for writing this song, and I hope you guys really enjoy her. And I know I will, because she's so amazing. Come sit with me, beauty. Are we gonna... Kira, come here, mamas. And of course we have our band dog, Ms. Girasol. Come on, mamas.
So I guess I won't be into that amp, huh? That's probably better, huh? I can't really tell what's going on audibly, with the sound, but it's okay.
Does it sound okay to you? You should be getting everything. We good, Rich?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Right on.
Enjoy, everyone. Enjoy.
So this song is called Ode to Invasive Species. Every tree is an angel. Every root has a friend. Every cloud is a reminder. Each moment will come to an end. My sympathy is that the beetles are eating your grapes, and you feel like you're on some kind of crusade. I can't bring myself to take a knife to the burdock. It's full of bees and butterflies. Who said that death can't be medicine? Who said that death can't be medicine? Oh, human, you're such a messy child. Learning to play. All these roots will pick up after your games. When you are gone one day, every tree is an angel. Every root has a friend. Every cloud is a reminder. Each moment will come to an end. Tamarisk, I see you. I know that you're doing your best, and you're pretty damned good at it. Oh, the bindweed thrives like many of us wish we did. We're just a little bit envious. We're just a little bit envious. Oh, human, you're such a messy child. Learning to play. All these roots will pick up after your games. When you are gone one day, every tree is an angel. Every root has a friend. Every cloud is a reminder. Each moment will come to an end. Every fall, when the leaves drop, to play with the scapegoat. So might I. This is my ode to all invasive species, including my own. Including my own. Including my own. We're humans. Humans are meant to love.
We love you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you all for tuning in to LaKwaxiru. Thank you for holding space in your own hearts for imperfection for others and yourself. If you would like to get to know more about my lovely, beautiful friend sisters here, you can follow Olivia at Olivia Blue on Facebook. Is it oliviablue.com? Do you have a .com?
I have oliviablumenthal.com.
oliviablumenthal.com. Pardis at Como Rebi Yoga, KOMOREBI Yoga. And then I'm Muse in Medicine on Facebook, and we are Baubo, Baubo. You can follow us at Instagram at Baubo Musica, and tune in next week. We'll have some more gushy wonder for you. I don't know who my guest is because that's the kind of girl I am, and hopefully I'll be more rested and less teary next time. But you know, I love myself how I come. I hope you do too. Thanks, ladies, for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Bye, everyone.